Alright guys, several of you have had questions about the spreadsheet project assignment that I've posted in Canvas. So I thought I'd make a little tutorial for you for the Google Sheets. Several of you are not having Microsoft products on your computers at home. And if you don't have Microsoft on your computer at home, that means that you don't have Microsoft Excel. So we are going to try and do this, walk you through this project with Google Sheets. So what you're going to need to do first is make sure that you have the spreadsheet project opened so that you can look at all of the requirements. And then you are going to go to your drive, your Google Drive, and you're going to click on New, and you're going to open a Google Sheet. And we have our little Google Sheet here. It is taking a few minutes to load. And the very first thing that you need to do is you need to give your Google Sheet a title. If it is not titled, then it will not be easy to find. So we are going to type in our title of Spreadsheet Project. And then we are going to go to our spreadsheet project requirements, and we are going to go through all of these items and make sure we have everything included. So the very first thing it says is to open a spreadsheet, which we've done. It also says that Google Sheets doesn't have the header feature, which it doesn't. So we are going to completely skip number 2 because you cannot make a header in Google Sheets. And we're not going to try and come up with one either. So let's go ahead and skip to number 3. Number 3 is asking us to come up with a purpose for our spreadsheet. Are we keeping track of sales of different items, different sports teams and their scores, party planning? So basically it can be about whatever you want. I've had people make their spreadsheets on movies and their favorite types of animals and endangered species and just all kinds of things. So I'm going to create my spreadsheet on a sales. I'm going to pretend I have a store. So I'm going to go ahead and give my spreadsheet a title, and it is going to be titled, and this is, excuse me, let me fix that. It is supposed to be in all caps. This is Lewis's home. And I'm not going to format that right now. I just hit enter so I could go down to the next one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my guidelines here. It must have a header, which we can't do. A title that is merged and centered. I'm going to wait to merge and center my title until I have completely filled out my entire spreadsheet so that I know how many columns I'm going to have to merge and center across. I must have column headings that have wrapped text, borders, under the column heading, at least 10 records of data, that's 10 rows, evidence of formatting, numbers, blah, blah. Alright, so let me go ahead and start with my items. And actually, since this is a column heading, I only need to have initial caps, okay? So I'm going to type my items in, and let's say I sell soda, water, candy bars, chips, and I need to come up with 10 things. So, okay, now that I've got my 10 items here, which would be 10 records of data, I'm going to go ahead and come up with some more information. Now, there is no minimum requirement on the number of columns that you need. Remember, columns go up and down. But we do need to have enough information so that we can include numbers formatted as currency, which is money, numbers formatted as percentages, at least 2 different formulas, and 3 functions. So I'm going to come up with a few things here that we can make some calculations on, so I'm going to need some numbers. So let's say number in stock. For each of our items, I'll plug some numbers in. And then we can say the price of each item. Number in stock, price, total, let's see, total inventory price, which I just made up, but I'm trying to make that sound like it would be a total of the number in stock multiplied times the price of each item, which would give me one of my formulas here. And I also need a percentage, so I gotta think of something I can come up with as a percentage. Percent of total items. So, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do with that in just a moment. So let me go ahead, and I think I've got my two formulas. So let me go ahead and do some formatting here. Let's go ahead and highlight, click and hold, and highlight across my columns that I've used so far, A through E. And then I'm going to merge those columns, and at the top there's a button that says Merge Cells. I'm going to also make this title bold, and I'm going to center it. Okay, now I've got my title nice and centered and pretty looking. Now I'm going to go ahead and do some formatting to my column headings. I've gone ahead and highlighted. I've just clicked in the middle of a cell and held down the mouse and drag it across. I'm going to wrap these cells because, as you know, that's part of the requirements in the spreadsheet project. So let's click and let's wrap text. And then we are going to center our column headings, and we are going to make them bold. Alright, now I'm going to fill these items in, and I am making up these two numbers. I want it to be reasonable price for soda, pencils, etc., but I'm not going to go and look up each one of those. If you were doing it on like a movie or like a football team or something like that, and these were different movies or different football players, you could of course look that information up and that would be easy to find. I'm just going to come up with some arbitrary numbers here, and then we can go ahead and do our calculations. Okay, so I've gone ahead and come up with some numbers of each item and then a price of each item. As you can see, my price column does not look like prices yet. So I'm going to click and highlight all of these items in the price column. I'm going to right click on the highlighted area. And then I am going to format cells if I can find it. They must have moved it on me. Alright, let's try this again. We're going to highlight all of our prices, and then we're going to go to the top where it says Format. And then we are going to go to where the second item on this drop down where it says Number, and we are going to choose Currency. Okay, now my money looks like money. Alright, now I'm going to insert a total inventory price here. We are going to multiply our price times the number of items we have in stock. So that is going to give us one of our formulas. So I have clicked here in cell D3. I'm typing equals, clicking on the number in stock, and then I am doing an asterisk, which is the little star button, and then I am going to click on the price, and then it gives me my formula. I'm going to click enter, and then it went ahead and formatted it in money for me, which is great. Now I don't have to plug that into every single cell. I am just going to click on the cell, after I click out of it, and I'm going to use this little blue box down here on the right corner. When you mark it, when you hover over it, will turn into a black plus sign. You are going to click and drag, and that is your fill handle. It is going to fill that formula down for you. Alright, now I need some numbers down here in the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do a total row. And underneath, I want to go ahead and add all of these numbers up so I can get a total on each of these. So I'm going to I'm going to insert. First of all, I am clicked in the cell here, B13. I'm going to insert a function. Oh Lord, my mouse is being funky again. Insert a function, and I'm going to do the sum function because I want to add. Okay, and now it does all this doohickey, and yes, I got it. I'm going to close that little dialog box. Now I have to tell it what to sum. So I'm going to click and highlight all of this range of cells here, B3 through B12, and I just will let go of my mouse, and now I'm going to hit the enter key. Now I have a total. I'm going to fill this total over using the fill handle so that I can have more totals than just that one column. I can total them all up. Okay, now I have my total filled across my cells here. I'm going to go ahead and click off of those. Now I'm going to come up with my other formula that I need. Now I have a sum function here. If I click in these cells, you can look at the URL, or not the URL bar, geez Louise. If I click on the cell, you can look up here in the bar and see in the formula bar that I have my formula here. This is actually a function, so I have one function, and then I have one formula in this column, and I have one formula in getting ready to be this column, because I need to have at least two formulas. So, percent of total items is a pretty general formula, basically, and it gives me my percentages. I'm going to click equals, and I'm going to take the number of each item, which in this case I'm on the soda row, and then I'm going to divide, which is a backslash, or a slash, forward slash, and then I'm going to click on the actual total number of all the items at the bottom. Now I want that number to always go back, so when I fill this down, this is going to change if I don't tell it not to. So I'm going to click up here in the formula bar, and I'm going to put a $sign in front of the 13, which is the row number, and I'm going to put a $sign in front of the column number. So my formula looks like this. Equal sign B3 divided by slash $sign B $13. Now I'm going to hit enter, and it gives me this crazy looking number, which I'm going to go ahead and fill my formula down to the rest of the cells here. And then while I've got this highlighted, I'm going to go to Format, Number, and I'm going to change it to a %. And then there we go, I've got my percentages. Now I think all I need are and I'm sorry, I'm moving a little fast, so I'm running out of time. I'm almost at my 15 minutes of recording time here. Column headings or wrap text. Title, yes. Borders under the column headings and an accounting border. Alright, let's try that. Let's give us some borders. So I'm going to highlight my column headings. Oh, this daggone mouse is driving me crazy. Highlight my column headings. I'm going to give it a border. So let's go to Format, and let's go to, where is it? Maybe it's on my quick bar here. Oh, right there in front of my face borders. Alright. I'm going to highlight row 2 where my columns are, and I'm going to click on borders, and I'm going to give it you can give it kind of any border you want, so I'm going to do this outside borders. You could just do the line if you wanted. And then it also wants me to